2 ball games down, a couple questions left to go. Cuts have begun, and I know you guys have a lot of questions. We're going to cover it all tonight. Me, Dan Harms, RGR Football, and you. Let's get going. Welcome back, friends and neighbors. It's RGR Football, and I want to welcome our newest sponsor. It is, for all of you in Kansas, DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Sunflower State. It won't be long until you can bet on all your favorite sports from the comfort of your own home. And to celebrate, all the new customers are receiving a free $100 when you sign up using our code RGR21. Yes, it's the same code from last year because we wanted to keep it simple. Plus, one lucky customer is going to win $100,000 in free bets. It's going to be incredible. That's right. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you $100 in free bets right now just for signing up today with no deposit required at all. Soon you'll be able to get your money, lines, spreads, props, and all that, including all their information to make some smart bets there at DraftKings Sportsbook. Plus, you'll be entered in the $100,000 free bet when you sign up. All you got to do is download the DraftKings Sports app right now and sign up with the code RGR21. And you can get $100 in free bets to use on your mobile device right now, anywhere in Kansas. We'll talk about the other side of the state line here later, but I know where you guys live. Plus, one customer will be entered for that $100,000 free bet giveaway. That's code RGR21 at DraftKings Sportsbet. If you have a gambling problem, make sure that you get your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. 21 plus is specific to this deal, as well as physically present in Kansas. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms and conditions over at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory license agreement. You have to do that. One per customer and $100 issued as 4 $2,500 free bets. No purchase necessary for the sweepstakes and avoid where prohibited. Ends on the first day DraftKings is allowed to operate in Kansas. So get signed up now. That's it. Welcome our newest sponsor. Thank you guys for supporting the folks that support us. That goes a long way. And we are here for everything that you guys want to know. It's your night. It's Q&A night on RGR Football. Got a win here against the Commanders. And man, I even butchered up the title this morning on Seth's reaction piece because I just can't bring myself to say Commanders. Is it that tough?
I just, like, for the member stuff, I just stick with the footballs because I think that's fun. But here it's like you have to take a second sometimes and just kind of say it in your head, Commanders. Yeah. Doesn't sound right yet.
I mean, I'm going to say Redmanders most of the time. It sounds like a salamander, right? Like it's some bug. Right. It's just one of those things. It'll take me a while. I'll get there, folks. I promise. So I do want to start tonight. Cheers out to Liz and Aaron. Our fearless moderators are in the house. Obviously, you guys know Dan Harms. My right hand here. I'm Ryan. If you've never seen either of us before, well, I don't know what took you so long, but welcome to RGR Football. This is where we talk Chiefs and NFL from the X's, the O's, the stats, the bylines, inside what you need to know about the game. This is where you find it, and we're going to go over all kinds of stuff. We have a huge staff here at RGR, and we're constantly growing. We have some announcements coming for you in the coming weeks as we get ready for the regular season, so don't put off that. But I know this is your night, so we're going to get to all of your questions. I have to start with yesterday, though, because we went live after the ball game. We did the breakdown yesterday with extra questions. And for those of you who super chat and help us, we're going to help you. And right now, I'm going to try to get Dan, so at least the pretty guy is above here, because I don't know why it's centered, but it's not working very well.
That's fine.
But Tristan Maxwell and Jeremy Jones, thank you both for the support. We very much appreciate it. And Jeremy had a comment as well. I'd like to see more first-team takeaways. Best way to keep defensive confidence and energy up. And that's a very, very good point. But thank you guys for the support. The super chats are the way to do that. You guys can do that in here tonight if you would like. That always gets to us right away. And I promise you, if you leave a super chat, you will get an answer tonight. You can also grab some gear in the RGR store. Got that new one. Got the new, like, thick, super built sweatshirt hoodies with the Chiefs Kingdom flag on it. And I just got one for myself, and I really dig that. It's probably my favorite piece for us so far. Get our logo back up here. And so you can check that out. You can become a member. Members, you get all the extra content, including one rant from a Daniel that you might know. And that's coming this week. I always look forward to that because you say stuff I don't have to. And I love that because
it's my job. This is my job.
because last time I did a rant, and it's been a while, folks. That's why Dan took it over. My kids came in after and they're like, "Dad, are you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm mad." So I try not to get that fired up on purpose. I got blood pressure and stuff to deal with. So that said, we're going to get into your questions right now. Thank you guys for the support and for being here in the memberships. You get all that extra information when you sign up at the rookie level or above. You can do that with /members or /join on the RGR channel URL. That's certainly in there. Let me get to question number 1 as I have stacked them up, and it is from Miss Holly, and thank you for the super chat, Miss Holly.
Thank you, Holly.
Always appreciate you. Sadly, not going to be able to make it tonight, so this was her one stab at it. Thank you, Miss Holly. But I want to show some support. Well, thank you, and you always do, and we always do appreciate it, so thanks a lot. Hope that you make it back for rewatch. Clinton asked, is Jalen Watson becoming a sure thing? Has he become a sure thing on the 53? What do you got, Dan?
100%. You heard it today from Steve Spagnuolo's mouth. The first person off the bench is not just going to be Josh Williams. It's going to be either Josh Williams or Jalen Watson. So he's already thinking in his head about what contingency plans, and it includes Jalen Watson. He has been so good in terms of a 7th round rookie playing on the field, looking comfortable. He doesn't look lost. He looks like he belongs. And that's the most important thing you could say about a rookie.
I'm certainly with you. And I think it is specific to clarify, coming off the bench, that means they expect Rashad Fenton to be back. Yeah. So this groin pull isn't going to be a magical thing that keeps him out. And that's good, because I do think Josh Williams and Jalen Watson can contribute. I don't want to throw him into the fire.
Yeah.
Week 1, I could probably live with, but that's against Nuke. And week 2, it's against the Chargers. And I'm not looking for that. I don't think that is going to help them maintain their confidence. So
Nuke's not playing.
Oh, is he? I don't
for the first 6 games of the year.
Oh, is he? Okay. I must have missed that part. I don't really care about you Cardinals, so, go elsewhere. Micah, I live in Denver and I hear the Tyreek trolling too much. Let's get that cracking ASAP. Well, Micah, I'm glad that you remind me that you're in Denver as well. You guys know we're going to try to do a meetup sometime this year, and when it's a game here, looks like the Broncos might actually credential me for when the Chiefs come to town. I don't know why the Chiefs won't, but if the Broncos will, I'm going to take them up on it. So we might have to find another weekend to get her done, but we will. Quentin, do you still think that Powell can make the 53?
So I talked a little bit about last week's Q&A. Right now, I don't think it's really in earshot. He'd have to have like a spectacular game on Thursday against the Packers, even to have a chance to make it. But the fact that he's playing special teams is a good notice going forward. If they have some defections next year or things like that, he'll have a chance. But right now, I would still pencil Fountain as the 6. It is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. But I do think that Powell deserves a spot on the practice squad. Like, I think he's shown at times here that one day in practice, he caught like 8 out of 8 targets. I thought he played a good ball game against the Threes last week. Like, he's shown sparks. So let's keep him on the practice squad and keep him rising, I know I use the word rise a lot in titles and thumbnails, folks. I love that word, because if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. So you want to be on the rise. That's kind of where I come back to. What's up, Micah? Do you agree that Andy's camp rule of no joint practices?
Yes.
I think it's smart. You tell me why, though, Dan, because I think we might be coming from different angles.
We're probably coming from different angles. I just don't think I don't like a reason to go out of your way to get fired up that early. You know what I mean? You're going to have your preseason games already, and we've seen more than a couple scuffles in these joint practices to begin with. And as somebody who doesn't want to see players getting hurt for no good reason, and a scuffle is one way that can happen. So I'm not interested.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And that's kind of where I was going, sort of, only because let's be real. Other than Chris Jones, this is a finesse team. This is an Andy Reid team.
Not so much anymore.
I don't know.
I think it's getting better. You got
if it's not for Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey, it's a finesse team, right? I mean,
I think Tooney's a pile driver too. I think that's Orlando Brown's game. So no, I wouldn't say so. I think that they're
3 out of the starting
better.
22. You're knocking on my door now. Okay, I get it. But the long and short is, whether they are or aren't, the point that you made is that the end goal is like, stay healthy, don't risk stupid things. And quite frankly, I don't think anybody can practice at Andy's pace, and he refuses to slow down for anyone.
Agreed. And
that's one of their biggest advantages. So why give up an advantage? How come the Chiefs never hold joint practices?
Hey, look at
that. Well, so we gave you 2 options. I'm not sure what the real reason is. I'm guessing Andy's somewhere in between what both of us feel. And That's by design. As many reps as you can get in for everybody. Andy's pace is renowned, and he's not going to slow that down for anybody. Yep. Pal had a nice game, even though he was with the threes and fours. Yeah, exactly. And so I think that deserves more. Caden, it's a great question. What do you think about Saunders? I think the same thing I've always thought about him. Nothing has changed my mind. He still hasn't hit his potential, but this might be the best that he's looked. And for those folks that are thinking like that stalwart's on this roster, no. Colin Saunders is on this roster. It's not close.
Yeah, he's outplayed him, and he looked way better in pass coverage or in pass reps both games. Like, it wasn't just him sparking one game and kind of disappearing. He was everywhere and making plays in the first game and the second game. So he just looks better. He looks like the athlete he was coming out, it's nice to see.
I'm gonna let you take Avery's because he wants details, and I got to stack some questions.
All right, thanks for the question, Avery. The most receivers Patrick has had over 500 yards in a single season is 4, both in 2019 and 2021. Under he has 5 receivers with 500 plus this season. Whew. So, I mean, I can't say over because I don't think 6 receivers are getting 500 plus yards. So I would just give you a push because I think 5 is the number that ends up, and if anything, it would be a little bit under. But so if I'll just say under, I'll go. But see that I think it's going to be 5. Like, I don't think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be exactly the number 5. So that's interesting. I'll just give you the 5 players. I think it'll be Clyde. I think it'll be Hardman, Kelsey. Then you'll have Juju, and I believe the MBS will get there.
Rock and roll. I like it. And Avery, I'm not ducking you. There was just a lot of comments in there. Micah, Blake Bell going to get IR or cut? I heard Veach made an inquiry about it. Yeah, I do believe he's not healthy enough. I don't know which it's going to be. It could be IR because they do like him. It doesn't give you an advantage. If you're on IR on day 1, you're not on the 53, you're not eligible to come back. Yeah. So it could be the end of the road. But you're right. He did make an inquiry. I think that's smart. There's a big cut down coming. There's a number of tight ends that I think can play on this particular team that maybe don't make it elsewise because they're asked to do different things. Watch Tanner Connor in Miami. He's a guy that is exactly what they want. Uber athletic, totally raw. They can make him into what they want him. So a great practice squad addition. They will find another tight end. Akroga, what has been the biggest pleasant surprise and disappointment in the preseason? For me, it's Josh Williams and Rojo. My disappointment will be Kennard. I'm pretty certain of that. For me, it's Jalen. When the preseason started, if you guys remember, I had Jalen as a practice squad guy because he just wasn't quite able, I think, to hook on initially. But I've been happy there.
Jalen, like, he's been one of the most impressive players, but I think the biggest pleasant surprise for me has been Deion Bush. He looks comfortable in the defense, and for a guy who's kind of been more of a backup player, and really when you need that, and you have a lot of young players as your starters and guys you're going to have rotating in, it's nice to have him who's going to be the 4th safety, and you don't feel like if it gets to that point where he's playing a little bit more, you don't feel too uncomfortable. And the biggest disappointment has been it's been Darian Kennard. Like, that dude, I mean, the biggest problem is that they're trying him out of position. Let's be honest. He's not a tackle. And I think a lot of people were hoping that some magic could be worked with footwork for 3 players on this team, with Trey Smith, who still has some issues, Orlando Brown, who still has some issues, and Kennard, who arguably has the worst footwork out of all of them. And he's not a tackle. He's a guard.
Nope,
that's what he is.
Let him play inside. So okay.
He's Trey Smith's backup. That's what he is.
Right? No, he could be the swing backup. He could eventually play left. Joe Tooney's not a spring chicken. The end of Joe Tooney's career might come at the end of this contract. So like, you could see it from here. There's reason to fortify the backup guard spots, and I like that. But they're going to let him, I think, play himself out of the tackle spot until he's ready to admit he needs to go inside. Doug, you're absolutely right. Still worried about the backup tackle situation. Harry had a good point in the comments yesterday. Very difficult to find a swing tackle in cut downs. But I got to tell you, Harry, and for anybody else who feels this way, yes, it's kind of a cross your fingers and hope. Yeah. But this tackle plays pretty bad. And I think for the first time in a couple of years, the swing tackle is a position they might be able to upgrade in cut downs.
I'm a little more optimistic on Christian, but he had some rough reps on Saturday. But again, the front and the depth for Washington is still pretty good. So I think that he's probably the only bright spot for me on that tackle group. Everyone else is pretty bad.
Yeah. Who do you guys think is the wide receiver 6? I think we both feel it's Fountain.
Yep.
I don't mean to speak for you, Dan, but yeah.
No, we talked about it,
Yeah, Connoisseur, that's really interesting. Someday Patrick Mahomes won't make a 53. It'll be the year after he retires. Jeremy, as of right now, I have 8/10 rookies seeing significant playing time, if not starting this year. If so, where does this draft rank all time?
It's a tough question.
All time. I mean, I don't know. It'll boil down to not only total number of snaps that the rookie class plays, but how well they do. If they play and it's a 11-win season, you limp into the playoffs and you get knocked out before the divisional championship, it ain't much of a plus. Unfortunately, folks, the last 5 years, the bar has gone up.
Yeah.
It's up here now. It's tough.
I mean, I don't necessarily have 8 rookies seeing significant playing time. I think significant playing time is like a level below starter. Like you're still playing like roughly half of the snaps in the year. I think that's considerable. So, but this draft looks really good. I mean, it looks right now on the face, because we haven't really seen much else, it looks exceptional. And that this is the way that Brett Veach's drafts are going. They're finding the players that they want, that they fit what they want, and they're getting the most out of them.
Yeah, I like it. Micah, any left tackle or right tackle cuts that might be able to pick up that you think will come available? I have not been able to see. I know there's the Tevin Jenkins thing. I don't know that he's an upgrade over anybody right now. Dan, you might feel differently, but I'm kind of
I don't know what happened, but it's very possible that the toxicity of Chicago, the coaching staff, it just doesn't work with Tevin. Like I'm not sure what. Maybe he's out of shape, and you need a change of scenery to get that right. Because coming out of Oklahoma State, that dude was good. Like, he was good. So there's talent there. I would be willing to bet that he's a better backup than Prince Teo Inogo. If he's cut, I think that you have tons of reason to try to claim him at worst, because we talked about the offensive tackle situation here isn't exactly great. Outside even your starters, it's not great. Like, it could be a little bit better, and you can have somebody that had potential coming out to possibly find a way to get his head right and get him on the team and in shape and in the right spot. I think it's worth it.
I'm with you. Terry, you guys worried about Carlos Dunlap's Achilles?
A little bit.
I can't say I'm panicked, but my ears are up. My ears are up.
A little worried about that.
Yeah. To go from practicing to, hey, you're a scratch completely, and I didn't even know it when we went live that night. I didn't know that it had been purposeful. I thought something happened in warmups. I was concerned there. So I'm a little better now, but not a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you feel about George K? You guys are going to see my breakdown of his sack tomorrow, and I'll try to stop screaming. So I'm a little excited about it. But what's your takeaway, Dan?
So as most of you remember, I was not the most enthused that they drafted George Karlaftis. And now, I'll tell you still, first-round draft pick, personally, even with now the improvement known, it would be a fringe yes, because at the time, I didn't know that he was going to be able to improve his ankle flexion as much as he has. There is drastic improvement in his ankle flexion and quartering ability since he was drafted, in my opinion. I didn't see any of it on his tape. I didn't see cornering ability. Yeah. So I'm more comfortable with him being, the 3-2 defensive end on this roster. But again, I would like to see real, tangible results against a first-team offensive line for the rest of the time in the NFL. So we still have room to grow. He's still a rookie. He has room to grow. So we'll see. I'm feeling way better than I did draft night.
Fair enough. I'm glad for you. Like I don't see I don't see as marked a difference in ankle flexion or his ability to bend through contact. The thing that is standing out to me, because maybe we watch different games, but it's better than it was, but I don't see it being drastic. The big thing for me is that he learned when to cut bait.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he hit in that double, and there's still some things to improve. I'll go over the technique that will improve his spin move. But the fact that he had one that I watched 6 games of him and never saw in college, that's a big deal, because having a counter game is the difference between making a second effort sack and being a guy that's standing around watching the action.
And again, he used to get run up the field. Tackles would just be like, you want to go outside? Go for it. You ain't getting anywhere. I know you're not going to get across me, but the coming back to it and the spin moves off and the cut, the count, like you said, the counters. They've done. I'm going to go ahead and give Joe Cullen, a huge hat tip. Every single defensive player looks better on that front. Every one of them, except for Joshua Kendo.
Dude, you're not wrong. And I'm really interested to see what they do with Shelton. I wish Shelton would have come in a little bit lighter.
Me too.
But that's okay. I want to see what they bring. I do think Shelton makes this roster. We can talk about that later if somebody brings it up. But before we move on, folks, make sure you go sub to Big Chief Sean's channel. You're going to see Sean late in the week this season on RGR, but you got to get all the goods from what he does every week over on his channel. So go subscribe to him tonight, please. Brandon Cox, do you think that the attempt at a trick play in the next game, in the preseason game, I don't see why he would. It's just an excuse to get somebody hurt, in my opinion, but I wouldn't. They might, though. If Dave's looking for a tiebreaker on somebody to make the roster, he might try to throw something in, Smack the crap out of luck button if you would, please. Kingdom family.
Appreciate it.
Rogue Nation, hit that like and the bell and stuff. And if you're not with us already, become a subscriber. And if you're one of those trolls that wanted to come at me the other night, I've been bouncing around to some other channels every now and then. Bring it, bro. I told you, this is where you learn ball. Do y'all see any high visible t-shirt that I could wear for work? I will check, Jeremy. I don't think I've seen any high vis material, but I'll try. And I am working on a new store as well. We'll eventually shift over there. I got a lot of graphic work going on right now, but if you're ready for the What Would Veach Do shirt, it's on the way as well. It's almost done. I'm almost happy with it. Yeah, it is going to say hold my beer. I couldn't resist. So it'll be fun. Paige, what do you think of Andy was talking to Patrick about right after the second touchdown? Hey, go have a snack. Don't let the camera see it. Don't stand up again.
Do you think everyone thinks you're going to be okay without Tyreek? Right. I mean, I don't know. He got 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, Patrick. I'm not so sure yet.
Oh, maybe Romo will figure it out for you because Orlovsky's still worried. I see a lot of teams practice against other teams. Do you think the Chiefs make the right choice by not doing it? Or do you think it's beneficial? If this were a more power team, if Rex Ryan was running this team, if this was like a get in your face, we're going out physical you team, I would say you need to do it. I would see the benefit there. Yeah. But for Andy, I just don't buy it.
I agree.
Watson looks good against the Reed offense compared to Tampa Bay. D-Rob can't make it in LV. Mahomes-Reed combo showing that they can make any wide receiver look good. Well, that's definitely part of it, Will. It's also the fact that I tried to emphasize this the other night. I could have tried 7 different co-hosts on this show, right? But Dan and I work together. And sometimes you just get those combinations where you just click and you guys work. And I do think that is something for Watson with Mahomes.
Yeah, there's something different too, because I think that scheming Watson open a little bit more with Andy Reid is helping his natural, I won't say inability to run routes because he's not like he can't do it, but I don't think he's the best at running routes. I don't think he could at Tampa Bay. And I think that you're forced to, if you go watch Mike Evans and Chris Godwin play, they are very good route runners. And Mike Evans doesn't get credit because he's a big, can go get the ball down the field, touchdown machine guy, but he's a very good route runner. And I think that gets overlooked. So you have to be a little bit better at running routes in Tampa than you necessarily have to be in Kansas City. It's going to help him, in my opinion, down the seam. I'm imagining, inside the 30, you have Jody, you got Travis, you got MVS or Juju, and you got Watson. And they're just going to say, somebody get in a nice position and Patrick's going to throw you the ball. That's all it's going to be. And I can't wait.
What I'm personally waiting for is one of those guys, maybe Watson, but particularly Jody. It's going to be the old Tony Gonzalez. I'm going to throw it at the damn crossbar and you go get it.
Yes.
I'm here for that. Sean, at this point, do you see the Chiefs trading Rojo like they did with Carlos Hyde several years ago? I think they want to try. I think the tight end inquiries could be that. I just don't know if anybody's going to give him anything for Rojo.
No, nothing. He's about to get cut.
In fact, I'll take it back. I'll make Rojo my biggest disappointment because I thought he had more oomph compared to what he's shown. Like in OTAs, he looked better than he looks now. It's like he went home from OTAs and didn't lift a finger, didn't work out. Like it looks bad. Chris Weeks, thank you for the super chat. And folks, if you're one of the members, or if you want to become one of the members, you get to see Chris Weeks hang out with the moderator and the RGR crew. That's one of the bonus videos that you get. Chris, I hope you had a good time. You want to go check that out, folks. And thank you for the support here, Chris. Who is the most to gain and who has the most to lose in the third preseason game? Missed you guys. Mental health been kicking my butt. Well, I hope that you're feeling better, brother.
Me too, man.
And I hope that we can help, because I'll tell you, the guy who's got the most to gain right now for me, it's Zane Anderson. Like you said, Bush has been better than I expected. Zane played snaps for this team last year. And like, if he can put it together and make some plays, maybe he's got a shot, but I don't know.
I don't know. I think that the guy who has the most to gain is DiCaprio Boodle, because right now I'm going to give you guys a little sneak preview, because I will have a Wednesday prediction of the roster. But I think Chris Lamons is going to make this roster as the last as the last corner. I think he's going to get the last corner spot, and that's surprising to me. I didn't think he was going to do that myself. So Boodle has to play. He has to show a dramatic improvement in his cornerback play, because the gap between him and Lamons is separated by the fact that Lamons has been getting better on defense and Boodle has been staying the same. And that's a problem for a guy who's going to play the majority of special team snaps, and one that isn't going to do that in Boodle. So you have to play better.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't argue at all. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. Gary, I'm worried about the running game. What's your opinion? I am a little bit too, but I also feel like it's still preseason. It's still feeling it out. Quite frankly, there were times where the offensive line got great push, like the stuff that Jeff was talking about. Jeff Schwartz, if you guys don't follow him, we've all seen the same thing. We were all talking about it. There were also some times where they didn't come off the ball that great. So, like, it's not just the backs.
Yeah,
they have to make a concerted effort to run the ball, in my opinion.
I'm going to say something here, and a lot of people aren't going to like it, but the coaching staff, specifically the running back coach, needs to be a little bit better. I'm not sure what's been going on since EB became the offensive coordinator, but whoever's been back there, regardless of who it is, the running backs have not been developing at all, in my opinion. They've stayed really stagnant. That's a problem, and that falls on the coaching staff. As good as players are, and as good as ceilings as they have, you can't get the most out of them if your coaching staff isn't improving them every year. And as much as offensive line play and running backs in the run game, you need cohesion. Having two drives and coming out and changing offensive lines out, changing running backs, you're not going to get that continuity that you need to have a successful running game. It takes reps. It takes time. So week 1, it probably will look better than it did in the preseason, all preseason. By week 4, it's going to look way better, because they're going to have those reps done. Like, that's just what it is.
I'm with you. Mike, final AFC West standings that you're predicting. I'm tired of the AFC West fans getting trolled by Tyreek as our death blow. You want to take a stab at it? Because I got mine.
I mean, I think we have the exact same predictions. I think it's going to be the Chiefs on the top of this difficult mountain. And I would put the Chargers, then the Broncos, and the Raiders.
Okay, order, we're the same. I have the Chiefs finishing second. I do have the Chargers making the wild card, and I have Denver being the 8th team, the one team left out of the playoffs of the AFC.
I think all three of those teams will make it. I do think Denver will, but yeah.
Okay. What are some edge rushers to watch for next year's draft? I mean, Will Anderson.
That's not helping much.
I mean, you're going to see a ton of Alabama games. It's worth it this year. If he takes any kind of step forward, it's going to be creepy.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a ton of defensive end play yet, mostly because I don't have a ton of college tape. And that's something that anybody that's watching that has access can help me with, because all my buddies that have it can't give it to me.
Yep. I'm in the same situation. The other team, folks, watch the Clemson guys. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but they have 2 guys on the outside and 1 guy on the inside. Just take it with a grain of salt. Remember, Clemson's been very good in college, and a lot of their guys have fallen flat in the league lately. So
yeah,
I know you're not supposed to scout the helmet, but there are certain things, like the training staff at Clemson, that do carry over and make repercussions.
And Florida State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Harlan, glad you're back. I know Jody's the big talk of the preseason, and that's cool. But have you guys noticed how much better Gray looks? Absolutely. Particularly in adjusting 2 passes and not like having to have them right here.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. Like that. When you can make yourself available to your quarterback, you're going to just look better, especially when your Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback, who can find you pretty much anywhere on the field. So he's learning to adjust. He's learning a little bit more in the run game. His blocking is getting better. It's still not where it needs to be, and that everyone talks about that the Pacheco run. That was more on Pacheco than it was Gray or it was Smith, because Pacheco needs to understand that double is always going to the linebacker. It's always going to hedge off. And all you have to do is wait a half second, and you got yourself a nice little seam there that you can make somebody miss. The goal in any run is to get you one-on-one. He would have been one-on-one in the hole. You make a guy miss, and then you go. That's what he does. So just wait a little bit. Just a little bit. See it. Come off a trade. You'd be good, man.
Everybody gets a little over enthusiastic when it first starts. Remember your first time running the ball? Yeah, you got a little ahead of yourself. You know what I'm saying? It happens. Was Steve Spagnuolo? Thank you, Leslie. I like this one. Was Steve Spagnuolo the problem with chasing the AFC Championship game? And do you think that they got the answer this year? Was he the problem? No. He was the solution that didn't happen. Ward was the problem. It didn't get taken care of, and that was on the coordinator. So, I mean, you can split it up 50-50 or 51-49. I don't care. What do you think, Dan?
No.
Okay, I like that. Succinct, and we're on.
The Chiefs had that game won on the offense. I don't care what anybody says about the defense.
Okay. Is Jody Fortson really that guy who played well last year before the injury and did well on Saturday, or is it just a preseason game? It's really that, bro.
He's that dude.
Yeah. Like, he's pissed off. He's like, I'm going to pick up where I left off, and you're all going to regret it. And I'm here for it all day long and 17 times on Tuesday.
15 tutties.
Spars, hope you're doing good. Thank you for the support,
brother.
Good evening. We took a swing. Do we look for a swing tackle after cuts? I hope so. And does Kennard go to the practice squad to be trained as a guard? Yes, that is my plan. I don't know if Andy agrees, but that's my plan.
Wait till Wednesday. You'll have to wait till Wednesday.
All right. Dan's going to tell you on Wednesday, folks. Dan's piece on Wednesday. You got Gary tomorrow, and we'll go from there, and we're back in the swing. Rogue, yeah. What's up, Scotty? Hope you're doing well. Big Chief Sean. Shout out to Mod Mama. Thank you, guys. She is running this roost. And William, thank you very much. Thanks for gifting a free membership. That must have been Holly.
Awesome,
Holly's been dropping you all some stuff every now and then, so give her a shout out, will you? They don't let me give away memberships, or I would.
Yeah, that's really weird.
But you can gift them to each other, and I do believe that's where the source of that is. So, cheers. Kevin, Brady Burrows, Herbert, Wilson, Stafford, Allen, Murray. Are we dreaming that our young secondary can hope against this schedule? Sure.
Well, the best part about this scheme is that it doesn't put too much on any one person. They put their secondary members in the best spot. And when you have safeties who can do a lot of everything, and Juan Thornhill and Justin Reed can do that, it lets the corners do very specific things. That's why Travarius Ward was so good in this defense. That's really why Fenton has looked so good in this defense at times. And guys that have come in have looked pretty good because it doesn't put too much on their plate. They're asked to do one thing, and then it funnels it to the safeties and the linebackers. So I think that they're going to be put in the best position to succeed, and we'll see how it works from there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, Stafford doesn't scare me. They have Kupp. They lost a couple of significant receivers on that roster. Murray doesn't scare me at all. Allen scares me.
I was about to say,
Herbert scares me.
Josh Allen is. I know that. Yeah, he is Mahomes freaky. These guys, Mahomes, Herbert, Allen, they're freaks. All right. Burrow is an accurate freak. He's not like the.
Right. It's his receiver that's the freak. He's
also a super accurate quarterback.
True.
Super accurate. Like, that's special. But other than that, yeah, you got some freaks in the AFC, man.
But to say that all, it is matchup dependent. And I think the defense can coordinate a way around a lot of those matchups if they're smart. It's going to break some tendencies, and we'll have to see if they do it. But there is a way through. Adam, thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Awesome content. We will definitely keep it up because we're kind of addicted now. I don't know that we can start knocking ball if we wanted.
That's all I do now.
It's only been 25 years for me. No big deal. Why isn't Karl Loftus lining up the first team defense in the first few series so far? He seems to be going with Dan and Clark because he's a rookie and he doesn't have the recognition factor yet. And Spags wants him to see and learn by example. And He's exactly where Mike Daniel was 2 years ago. Doesn't matter that Mike was what? Mike come in as a UDFA? I can't remember.
He was a 5th-round pick.
Okay, 5th-round pick, 1st-round pick, doesn't matter. You got to learn. Now, the thing with Carlos changes that. If Carlos can't go, he may start sooner than later.
I mean, he's going to be
I don't want to
rotated
think
in.
about it anymore.
He's going to be rotated in with the first period. I think that was the plan. But the improvement of Mike Dana is really what has made Karlaftis allowed him to not have to start. I think that's more the talking point that gets kind of thrown under the bush there because everyone wants Karlaftis to start. But Mike Dana's been in the system for a couple of years now, and he looks way better than he has.
Yeah, I agree. He looks more powerful, functionally strong, and that's the difference for me. Quentin, how's Sky looking in your opinion? He looks absolutely fine to me. If that ball is on target, he scores last week.
That's true. I think he had that one. The other one was probably a misread by a good old Patrick because that was shouldn't have thrown that one. Shouldn't have thrown that one. He got lucky that it was a penalty because he shouldn't have thrown that. But no, Sky's looked pretty much as advertised. His releases are crisp. His routes are good. He's going to be inconsistent winning deep because that's not his game. So we'll see.
Yeah. We're with you on Kennard. Micah, John S., did you see the Thibodeau play in the chop block? It seems cheap at allowing a weaker player, whatever. I want to hear you rant. It's legal by the rule of the law of the league. That's the problem.
You see it. Okay, so I'll rant a little bit for you, John, because this kind of irritates me. None to your fault. As a defensive end, it's your job to recognize that he's coming. That he was low nearly the entire way across the line of scrimmage, okay? And he just stood there. He just stood there. So as much as we want to say it's a dirty hit, it hurts these players, you had time to prepare yourself. And also, they come out, these tight ends and these tackles that are pulling are coming out, they want to establish physicality. What do you think is going to happen with a guy coming at you and you're standing sideways at the line of scrimmage? Sorry, Kayvon, you should have been prepared.
I'll tell you this too. It might be day 3, but any high school camp, the second or third thing that I teach is get your hands on the guy and put him in the dirt if he's coming at you low. That's part of the game. That should be a very simple thing for a player of his caliber to accomplish. Now, it's not the prettiest thing. Nobody likes that. Nobody appreciates you going the knees in the league, but it's not like he broke the rules or anything. So I think a little of it is a little bit like, hey, I'm a first round pick. You shouldn't be doing that shit to me. Well, make him stop. Okay. What's up, Patrick? Hope you're doing well. Since the RBs have looked bad in game setting, would a trade for a better RB be a possibility? No. The RBs don't matter. In the end, they're icing on the cake. They're going to go with Clyde because they put the first round investment in him. And honestly, they just don't care enough. They'd rather say, Patrick, go, let's go for Verts and see what happens again.
Yeah. I mean, and also Saquon's not being traded, guys. Saquon is, the Giants are dead set on trying to compete in a weak division. I'm not joking. They think, Brian Daboll thinks they can outside win that division. I think the Eagles are good. I think the Cowboys could, who knows? And they think that they have a shot of possibly making the playoffs. But probably
and then
won't
there's
happen.
the Commandos.
Yeah, well,
Getting the chopper.
We all know that they're not making the playoffs. I mean,
good question, Sexy. Watson over McCole?
No.
Not yet for me. I won't say that it doesn't happen eventually, but not yet.
Over MVS, maybe.
I think you and I see the stack differently. That's interesting. Huh. Why does Hardman have to do the season to earn a multi-year deal from the Chiefs after this year? 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns.
I don't think 10
is a quarterback out for drive. You don't think
so? I don't think 10. No, I think 1,000 yards is pretty much what he's going to have to do to get the contract. But I think 5 to 7 touchdowns will get him there. He doesn't need to have 10, in my opinion. Especially with the way that Jody's going to have 15. So it doesn't really matter.
Quinn, what's up with Leo? Haven't heard much about him seeing playing time with the 3s and the 4s. I don't like to see it. What's up with Chanel is that he's exactly where he always should have been, except all the talking heads and the crap channels on this platform talked him up as though he's the next coming of Derek Thomas, and he's not. He's exactly where he needs to be. He's going to get there, and he's going to play some snaps this season.
Okay, so both games he was rotating in at starting Sam with the ones. He was doing it both games, but he's also a backup Mike.
Right.
So you need to play. That's something that I think a lot of people and fans have missed is that Steve Spagnuolo has talked about getting him green dot looks and being, if Nick Bolton goes down, knock on wood, Leo Chanel is the guy. He's the closest thing you have to that to Nick Bolton.
I agree with that. I think scarily they're going to trust Darius first, though. Right now,
I don't think Darius makes the roster.
After watching how he came in and they let him make the calls there first, I'm concerned that they might. I think that's probably a mistake, and it should be. I'm a little concerned by that. I want to see who gets the start this next week because Bolton ain't going to play.
No, it's going to be interesting. But I think that Carter and Lee will be your two guys there, but I don't know.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting, but don't worry about Chanel. There's nothing wrong with where he is right now at all. He is a guy that has been a one or two dimensional player, meaning that he plays forward and he attacks well. He plays the run and he pass rushes well. He doesn't play backwards yet. He's working on it, and he's exactly where he ought to be. This is not a failure in any way by Leo Chanel. It is the over pumping up by radio stations, TV stations in Kansas City, just getting out of their minds about the expectations for him. And don't worry about Leo. He's going to be great.
Yep. Don't worry about it.
How many of those spots, 53-man roster, how many of those spots go to each position group? I think you got to keep 10 on the DL. I think you got to keep 9 on the OL, 5 linebackers, 10 DBs, 6 wideouts, 4 running backs, and that does include Mike Burton. So you're going to get this from Dan later in the week. Let me translate for you guys. Great pod. Thanks, Dan. Ryan doesn't like MVS Donnie comparison. Your thoughts? Donnie Avery comparison. Sorry. Do you remember Donnie Avery?
I barely. I think that MVS is way faster than Donnie Avery. And out of necessity, if you guys don't remember, he had to be their downfield weapon. Like Donnie Avery was not a burner by any stretch. He was a faster guy, but he wasn't a burner. So I think MVS offers more from a complexity downfield threat who has the ability to, as we've seen, make some catches through contact. He's going to make some ridiculously dumb drops. Just get ready. You guys are going to get triggered multiple times by multiple bad drops. It's going to happen. That's just who he is. Just get it out of your system now. But he's going to make some nice plays.
Just hopefully it doesn't get to Demetrius Harris level. That's all we're saying. Harlan, talk me off the ledge. I'm really worried about the Dunlap Achilles. We all remember the Eric Berry fiasco, and honestly, Derek Johnson as well. Either way, I hope we find another pass rusher to cut down days. I'm going to talk you off the ledge only because it didn't show up a lot. Like it must have happened at the walkthrough on Friday, Harlan. So I don't think it's like significant. Or it would have been if it had been during one of the contact periods on Wednesday or Thursday last week. I would say, okay, let's be a little bit more shook. I don't know, Dan. Am I not caring enough?
No, I don't think so. He's whatever it was, it's tweaked. And Dunlap is a veteran. He knows how to play. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't need the preseason reps. Also, he's got like nearly 3 weeks until they play a real NFL game. It's way more prudent and beneficial that they just say rest. Yeah, don't play. Don't do anything.
I'm with you. Super chatters, if you're going to get them in. We're just about at last call because I have to leave on time tonight.
Oh, wow.
I got kid duty now that my family's in high school and we got sports and stuff going on tonight. Shane Michel's been playing very well. Do you think that they keep him on? He'll be on the practice squad. And I disagree. I have not been impressed with Michel at all.
I mean, he's been the third best quarterback, so he'll be on the practice squad. But other than that,
there's no way they keep 3 quarterbacks. They just can't afford it with all the other positions this year. Alan, good Tuesday morning in Ipswich. Okay. I like that. Good day down there, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Jan, thank you very much. We appreciate your support. I didn't see a comment, but I'll go back and look here in a second. Doug, Ryan and Dan, I'm a little concerned about the injuries occurring. Do they prepare before practice like stretching? Yeah, there's a big stretch period. It's usually about 20 to 25 minutes, to be honest. And at the end of the day, the number of reps that you have in camp, it always kind of fizzles out this way where you have some guys go down. It's not unexpected.
Always.
I don't think there's anything to panic about either. We're good. Spards, run game issues, line or RB patience and vision issues, something else. All the above.
All the above, yep. I'm with it. It's thanks for the super chat, Spars. We appreciate it. Unfortunately, we kind of talked a little bit about this earlier, but it's all levels: coaching, offensive line, running backs, all kind of has to take a step up.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, if nothing else, it'll come around with being a regular season game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Sparts. Caden, do you guys think that Andy should give all the running backs a chance with the starting line so we can see more of them? Nah. If you can't run behind the threes against the threes, you have no right being in there with the ones.
Yeah, I'm with you there. No, there's no reason for it.
No, Pacheco earned his reps with the ones. Now, I do think we're overhyping him too. He's still the third running back, but he earned his reps with the ones. I can't say that about Gore or especially Rojo.
Yeah,
he was given some because he was veteran and he lost them, so that's even worse. Oh, sorry. KCDC. Should we be watching to get comfort of the competition and pick up a swing tackle? Yeah, I mean, there's always some of them. Unfortunately, all the guys that I really like that were like the low level, like super athletic dudes that could fit this scheme, they're all playing pretty dang well, and I don't think any of them are going to get cut.
I'm not so sure right now. Like, we'll see. I won't know really until cut down day because I don't have time to go through everyone's roster, see who's been playing well, go through reports, and unfortunately, my time is very, very limited in that department.
Super Devil Juice, are Veach's hands tied because of the draft being in KC? Tied in that he has to go to work and make selections? No. I mean, if he wants to give up a first round pick, it doesn't matter. I don't think Clark's like, you must keep the one. But I think Brett Veach was very sensitive not having ones when he first became the GM, and I don't think he's going to give it up easy. Jade, I know the Chiefs have very good offensive line starting, but your thoughts on the running backs are just not not it. I need to clear the running back room unless Pacheco is something. Clear it?
I think there's a good chance next year that everyone outside of Isaiah Pacheco is gone.
Could be. I think Gore's probably here, but he's still probably on the practice squad.
So yeah, I think that there's probably I would say a 15% chance that happens. It's not like super high, but I do think that it's getting reasonable, especially if it continues to not yield results. I think there's also a reasonable chance that the running backs coach next year is different.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pono, mahalo, man.
What up,
Appreciate
Pono?
the question. Our backup and O and D lines are pretty sad. What do we do? I actually disagree. I think the backup D line is taking decent shape.
Yeah.
If George starts and Mike Dan is the first guy off the bench until Carlos is repaired, I feel good about that. I liked what I saw from Herring. Like,
yes.
I think he's taken a step forward. The offensive line, the interior three are okay. I still don't like Ryder's mobility anymore. The backup guards are good. They need tackles, man. They got to find tackles. And it may come down to trade. I don't know. Harlan, last one. You're all right, man. Am I wrong for hoping we go ahead and cut bait with Rojo and keep Kenyon Drake and pick up Kenyon Drake? Drake's a beast. I don't – he's not available, is he?
Yeah, he got cut by the Raiders today.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I'd give him a shake and a heartbeat over Rojo.
Yeah, better player.
Harlan, well done. You have informed me of something tonight, my friend, and I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm a little behind. Liz, the mod mama, is working for the applause tonight. Thank you, folks. Hit the like for Liz, the mod mama, and give her some support. And make sure that you get subbed here as well, and hit that bell. It always helps. Did that spinner from Furious George? See, I'm going to go old school. I'm just going to call him GK. I'm done. I can't do this thing. Looked like it came from Clark's bag of tricks. I don't know that it came from Clark specifically, but it certainly helped him like have it in his mind. Like when you get to that position, and I'll explain what I mean tomorrow because Frank generally spins pretty high. You guys will see what I mean tomorrow when I'll kind of lay it out. Does Jay Carter make the 53 because of the trade and contract? No, he makes it because Mike Rose and Jack Cochran ain't ready.
Yeah, that's the thing. And special teams. He's going to play special teams.
Yeah, fair point. Thanks, Big Dave. Jacob, which defensive group is worse this year? I think an argument can be made for safety, but Arita is a great talent and Cook is a missile. Everywhere else seems better. See, I disagree. The departure of Dan Sorensen alone makes this trio better.
That's it. Period.
Yeah. Hey, Saints fans, good luck. Chance we're showing off Fortson for a trade. Take 3 tight ends and pull a right tackle. Nope.
No. Jody Fortson's going to be on this team.
Jody Fortson's the insurance against Travis Kelce spraining his ankle or getting old fast.
Yeah.
He ain't going nowhere. Andrew Armstrong, thank you for the support. Andrew. Appreciate you, buddy. Drunken German, hope you're doing well. Better nickname, Greek Freak or Furious George?
It's Furious George. It's not close. You don't have to delve into the nickname stuff. I'll deal with the nickname stuff.
All right. Whatever Dan says. Silly question, but why don't teams play their starters in preseason games? How else do they get to learn training camp? Alan, they do. They just don't do it for prolonged times because you're risking injury. And so they got a quarter in the first game. The Chiefs played, I don't know, it wasn't even a whole half for the starters on offense in the second. They're not going to play in the third because there's nothing to gain from that. You've seen what you need to see from them. And you can't risk an injury. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Plus, you need to see the guys farther down, so you need more reps from them to evaluate them.
Exactly.
Micah, check out the wide receiver from Marshall, Shadid Ahmed, I guess. Ahmed, sorry. As a possible steal in late round or a UDFA, he one of the YouTubers destroying one-on-one $10,000 challenges. Okay. I'll try to find some Marshall film. I don't think I got any last year. One-on-ones against YouTubers doesn't impress me, but I'll check out his film for sure. Flapjack, I just drafted Jody in the 20th round. Good for you. Go get it. Now, Dan's the fantasy guru here because I only play old school types of fantasy. So, you got to ask him the fantasy questions, but, it is what it is.
Love Jody. I'll just do whatever I have to, man.
I'm glad to hear it. Let's see. I'm checking for super chatters. Super chatters, you will get your question answered, but we do need to wrap up here in a couple of minutes. So I'm trying to grab those last. Here we go. Scott, which of many evaluations or predictions is Keys most wrong about? I don't want to shout anybody down, and I can't think about anything in particular. I think he called Kennard, to tell you the truth, but I don't remember the others.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I haven't. I'm not going to lie. Of everything that Stevie says, I don't keep like a mental notebook and write everything down. So I apologize for that, but I
you got to be in the moment. Keys must not be in the chat tonight.
Oh, he's not in the chat tonight.
Okay. So guys, make sure you get sub to Back Talk Bros as well, because you get him and Gooch and Aaron. Do you keep 10 D linemen, Herring and Wharton? Yes.
I think they both make the roster even at, and I think it's going to be 10 anyway, but yeah. I think they both.
Yeah, you think they both make it at 9 though? I heard you say it. Best defensive player ever, Lawrence Taylor. You are pushing my buttons tonight, Andrew. Because for me, LT and DT are like right here. Like I have trouble going back and forth between them. I will say this, and the reason I give it to LT and I would agree with you is because I don't think DT would have been what he was if it wasn't for LT coming before him.
I like it.
But yeah, there's Walter Payton, and he's really the best player ever. I'm just saying.
I said best defensive player. He didn't say best.
Oh, did he say defensive player? Okay, even better. There's Ronnie Lott, though. He played without half a hand and stuff. I mean, come on. We're not going to get into the old school 80s players. I'm sorry. I love it. Josh Williams and Trent McDuffie on the outside. Thoughts and analysis. I think Josh is – I said it the other day, and maybe I put it badly. I don't know. I feel like Josh is playing – really well for 80% of the reps, maybe 90% of the reps. He's just letting up a little bit too early because he's not used to the NFL competition. He's going to get there. McDuffie's everything I thought he was and more.
Yep. Oh, more. He is. You guys haven't heard a peep about him in the games. You want to know why? People are throwing the ball at him.
Right? Scary. Yeah. And he's so freaking serious. Like he's going to be a leader on this roster. And
I love it.
McKinnon seriously needs to be the RB1. No, Pono. No, because that'll last about a half, and he'll be broken.
Break glass in case of emergency. Players go down. You have him. He is not at this point in his career. He can't be a starter.
Agreed. Now Pacheco versus CEH. I think that could be a battle eventually. I don't think CEH is losing right now. Pacheco shows some things, but he's not ready to take over for CEH. That might change here partway through the season. Though.
It's very possible, especially considering that Clyde is also not developing. Like he's not getting better. So that's kind of a problem.
Chris, we're thinking 5-5. A total of 10 defensive linemen is where we're at right now. Sexy. I'm nervous for the bad matchups, tall receivers against Mike Williams and Trent McDuffie. That's the one that I'm nervous about as well. I will tell you that. That's the one weakness that Trent has, and it is against guys that have size and more specifically length to catch the ball with their hands away from him. That is going to be a tough one for him. I'm with you. Andrew, best quarterback ever, Dan Marino. No, his name's Joe Montana. Love you too, buddy.
Appreciate that.
And thank you for the support. Dan, I didn't give you a chance. Who's your all-time best QB?
I think that as of now, it would be, I would have Dan Marino over everybody, but Patrick's I think he's going to go down as the best playing quarterback. Obviously, Tom will always be the achievement GOAT. That's just kind of how it is.
Yeah, he's great. Seems like McDuffie Island in the 2 preseason games. Were you guys able to really focus on him on all 22? I really didn't, because I didn't see many options to really break anything down.
He's not playing a whole lot. People aren't throwing the ball at him, so it's hard to measure that. He'll get tested in the regular season, though.
Yeah, it'll come. Did Dan say 15 TDs for Fortson?
That's right.
I love it. What's up with Leo Chanel? Oh, Quinn, I got your question before. I think I was just too slow getting to you, buddy. Boodle doesn't look good in the slot. Who would be the backup? I'm guessing is Cole Dave. It might be McDuffie. I know they worked him earlier in the offseason. If LG had to miss.
Yes, that's exactly what it would be. And you would have Watson and Fenton and Williams on the outside, would be my guess.
Ooh, Matthew, I love the fire. Chiefs are undefeated at the bye week. They do that. They're AFC champs and they're playing in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna tell you right now.
That's spicy.
Ooh, I like it though.
Spice.
I'm going with you, Matthew. Are we having Isaiah? Are we hyping him too much? Yes.
Yes.
But he's overachieved from where a 7th round pick should. So he's earned some of it, but yeah, I think we are getting a little bit ahead of things.
The team's excited about him, and that should give you some excitement.
Yeah.
That's really should.
Yeah, but the blogger verse, and honestly, a lot of the radio stations are just going nuts with this because they don't have anything else to really talk about. So the football guys will tell you. That'll tell you all you need to know.
Yep.
Mahomes made it to Fortnite. Are you impressed? Big Chief Sean, what's Fortnite?
It's a video game.
I'm just kidding. Shit. I only play Madden and Halo, so what do I know? Maybe a little Call of Duty every now and then. My kids always win now because I'm old.
Oh, that's good, man. That was good. You got me. You got me.
Varied. How many less touches will Travis get? I think he probably gets pretty close, but I'll say maybe 10 or 15 less than last year is my thought, because they got to spread it around. Hey, lady, how was school? Oh, she can't hear me. I always forget that.
How was school? Did you like school? Yeah.
Okay, good. Good job, kiddo. Got that one. Sean, if the team doesn't bring Spags back after the season, what changes would you like them to see? Vic Fangio wants to come back, everyone. I'm super excited. I'm super excited. And Rex could be like the defensive line coach. It'd be awesome. And then Cullen could coach everything else.
I was about to say, I'm pretty okay with Cullen right now as the defensive line coach. So.
I pretty am too. That's the realistic answer. That's the realistic answer. Josh Allen looked good in the preseason. Yeah, it's not a mistake that Patrick Mahomes chooses to spend time with Josh Allen off the field.
No, I think that they're pretty good friends, actually. I think that there's a lot of mutual respect, and two aliens find each other's company like they like that. So I think that's pretty obvious.
I like that. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, wait, I didn't read Jalen's. Is it going to be a lot easier week 4 versus Tom Brady with their injured O-line missing 4 alignment? I mean, it has to be. If you can't take advantage of that, you don't deserve to win.
I agree.
That should be a huge plus for the Chiefs. Can Dan improve to being a weak starter this year? Yes, absolutely. He doesn't need to improve. He's there.
Yeah, he is the starter.
Yeah, he's a lower end starter right now. Does he have the pass rush? Not necessarily, but he's improved. Since Boodle is pretty bad in the slot, who do you want to play? Okay, we answered that one. Liz, thank you very much. She has some exciting news. Just got the call that her dad is upgraded to a regular room and out of ICU. I'm very happy for you. I'm glad to hear that.
Avery's giving you a thumbs up, Liz.
Yes. Congrats. Give him our best, and we say hi and hope that he's doing well and continues to improve. Cheers. And thank you for being here in the meantime. You didn't need to do that, lady. I'm prepared for an 8 TD Jody season. Are you guys? Absolutely. We're calling for it. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Andrew. Did you miss? No, I think we got them all, bud. I'm just slow, brother. That's what it is. I got 2 minutes till I got to get out. So, hey, it is what it is. I think not hearing about Trent Duffy mean that he's on lockdown. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
In my defense of my wild prediction, I definitely love that I've seen the first teams so snaps. You're absolutely right. So far, they've been looking good. William, thank you. Bigger impact on these two camp hype players, Watson or Pacheco? I think Pacheco gets more looks early.
I would lean Pacheco because the looks and because he's going to be the kick returner. You can do impact. I think he might have kick return for a touchdown in the first month of the season.
Rock on. Oregon Fishing, loving the Believe gear. I'm glad you're digging it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It's one of my favorite ones, too, and it kind of came together all of a sudden after that ball game. So, folks, if you want your Believe gear, I got it refreshed. It's on there. You can get it in all kinds of colors, all the red, the gold, and the black. I like the black myself. It's probably my favorite. But thank you, Oregon. Appreciate you. Scotty Rowland, how many defensive ends or defensive tackles does the team keep? We're thinking 5 and 5. Thank you for your 5. We appreciate you very much. I want to see Saunders chase down Josh Allen. He can. I'm just saying it. He can play linebacker. They dropped him last week for a reason, just to see if he could still do it. And holy, I shouldn't cuss on this stream because
you've already done it twice. You've already done it twice.
Have I really? See, this is what my kids always say, Dad. You don't even realize it when you do it. Okay, so obviously my filter's broken tonight, folks. I got to get the kids to practice. Thank you for being here. We love you, Dan. Thanks for spending the time when you could be with Avery. We appreciate it.
No problem. This is what I do. This is my job, and I do it all because I love doing this, and I love the guys' support. You guys are great.
Rock and roll. The team is coming along. You saw Sean. You saw all the guys. We got lots coming for you. Dan and I are up, as well as Gary, so be on the lookout for that. Thanks for spending your time with us. We'll